Okay, there's a very interesting example here, which I think is very good from the textbook. It's the number display, clock display example. This has nothing to do with dogs or dog pounds anymore, but it does have to do with composition. And notably, it has to do with reusable code. This is how we're going to end up making money, making generic, reusable classes that we can just put to use all over the place. So I'm going to draw a few things here. And you'll see in the book, it has a long layout here, and the slides. I don't like the order in which the slides are laid out. However, this class is taught by several instructors. They've all agreed on the order. So I'm just going to show you the order in which I would put the slides. I'll do that later. For now, I'm dealing with two things. A number display class, ND, number display, and a clock display class. And the clock display class is made of actually a couple number displays. We'll see a couple. A number display, all it does is this. It has a number to display. For example, 15. And it displays the number as like this, 15. But it has other features. So it's not just the 15, for example, which I'll call the value. It's the value, is the number you're seeing. But it also has a maximum limit, which I think is called the limit. I would call it the maximum or the rollover limit or something. A limit. For example, let's just say the limit is 100. Because it can be anything I like, any number. And this number it also has a number, a method called increment, which means go up by 1. But I would have labeled this increment with possible rollover, or increment nicely or something. Because what actually happens, it doesn't always increment. It'll go like this. 96, 97, 98, 99, and then it'll change. It won't go to 100. It'll get reset. The increment, if you look at it, the code, it'll go back, for example, to 0. Always 0 in our case. And then it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 99 again. Now this number display class, I can envision many uses for. For example, your car has this in the odometer, in how far your car's traveled. Eventually, if you drive far enough, it'll go back to 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And if you even go to, say, a deli or somewhere where you take a number, you're not going to be number 50,000 in line. You're probably going to be a number between 0 and 100. Because they roll over again. They have numbers that are displayed which increment with rollovers. Let's look at the increment code, and this has nothing at all to do with clocks. For example, it could be numbers in a deli while you're waiting in line. It could be the odometer on your car while you're driving and going farther and farther. Forget the clock display for now. This better have nothing at all to do with clocks, because one day I want to use the number display for a deli and for my car odometer. Let's see. If I look back here, the number display class, get display value. Okay, now be careful. In your lab, you'll see that this code in the book also has a get value method. The get value method returns an int, like 5. Get display value returns a string such as quote 05 or quote 15. You can see by the code here the 0 only gets appended to the front for values less than 10. So the number display, if you're doing arithmetic with the, or mathematics with the number display, you need to use public int get value. On this, most of the time I'm assuming you need to display the number. So we're going to use the string value instead, which comes back with quotation marks and maybe a leading 0. And if I look back, so for the number display, again, if I go back to my picture, it has two instance variables. A value, which is the one and only current value being, say, displayed, and it has a maximum value, which it never quite reaches because it rolls over when it hits that. For example, when I do a clock later, my value would, for the minutes, the limit would be 60, and my value will always be between 0 and 59. For the hours portion of my clock later, I'll have a value between 0 and 23, and the limit would be 24. You never quite reach 24 o'clock. You never quite reach 60 minutes. So let me just write that down. Here, the clock display layer is going to be made of a few things. 2 number displays. Beautiful. I say beautiful because each number display already knows how to go up, 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 and roll over properly. Because I'm going to have one called minutes and another one called hours. Inside my clock display, I can do with just 2 instance variables. Both, the data type is number display. I'll call one minutes, I'll call one hours. No, other way around for my picture. They both have a value, of course. If you look on the left, all number displays have a value, and they both have a limit. Okay, the limit for the hours is 24. The limit for the minutes is 60. The clock display has 2 number displays and a colon. That's basically it. If I go back here to the slides, slide 22, I can see part of my number display. You can tell on slide 28, that's definitely not a number display method. Nothing at all to do with time and number displays. I'm trying to find the rest of my